Alright, sorry. I don't know why I'm saying sorry. You don't even realize the fact that I just had to do 2 takes. I don't know why. I just stopped talking and cut my camera off and deleted the take. I didn't like what I was stuttering and stuff pretty bad. So I deleted that take and then I went back and now I'm filming this. So anyway, let's do this again. I want to, before I do that, you can find the links to my social medias in the description. So, yeah, I got Instagram, a Gab, and a mine, so I'm thinking about signing up for that new thing that Gab's got now called Dissenter. I don't know if you got to sign up for that, if you can just go ahead and do it if you got a Gab account, because I got a Gab account. I hadn't tested it yet to see if you can just go ahead and do it, but something you got to sign up for. I'll go ahead and sign up for that tonight. Being able to comment on uncommentable areas on the internet seems like a badass thing. I can just have my name listed as the Dick Fuck Junior Steen or some weird shit like that, and go on CNN.com and start just posting, commenting kills the Jews, even though I don't agree with any of that. That would be, man, people would be, CNN would be reporting psychopath on CNN.com. That'd be great. Troll the entire lamestream establishment with your shitty trolling comments, but maybe that'd be wonderful. But anyway, as you can see, I'm in a great mood. But anyway, I want to get into the main topic of this video, and that's my views of ancient people. Why I think that ancient people were very advanced, that ancient humans, so to speak. People could be anything from humanoid creatures to fucking beings off in the hinterlands in the universe. But why I think human people specifically, of the human race, of the human orientation, were before the Ice Age very advanced beings. And it sort of, this interest was sparked in me, this whole entire interest. You see, I talk a lot about space. It was sparked in me anyway, not with me, but in me, when I was, what was it, 13? I was 12 or 13 years old. In that time frame anyway, when I was like a tween or something, I saw this UFO sighting. At the time, I didn't even know what a fucking UFO was. My mom had the slowest internet connection in the world at my mom's house, and I watched YouTube occasionally, but it wasn't anything like that. I didn't even know the weird side of YouTube was a thing, and I was like, I didn't even pay any attention. I was too busy watching shit like PewDiePie back in like 2012 and shit like that. But I was outside and I saw that. I described it in my video from a couple months ago, but for those new subscribers of mine that don't know about that video, that didn't watch it, I saw the TR3B Black Manta coming right over the house. It was this black triangular shaped airplane looking thing. So it didn't have wings, it was just a flat triangle shaped thing with 3 thrusters on the bottom. There were 2 in the back 4. There were 2 in the back at the back corners, and there was 1 at the front point, and there was 1 in the center, or what looked like a thruster, something glowing, and it came over the house like this, slowly. It was just kind of hovering over. It's like, like whoever was piloting this thing was just looking around at stuff, sightseeing or whatever, and it comes over the tree line and stops right over top of me and Steven. I have a friend named Steven. Me and Steven were standing out there watching this son of a bitch, and we were trying to figure out what it could be. And at first, Steven was like, "Oh, it's a stealth bomber. You know, it's a new experimental stealth." And I was just thinking, "Oh, okay, sounds about right." I mean, it's black and it's triangular shaped, and it's quiet for sure. You don't hear a shit. It's got to be a stealth. Little did I know, I was looking straight. I mean, this thing was right over the tree line. It couldn't be 100 feet above my head. And I'm sitting here 100% clear as day looking at what I didn't know at the time was a fucking alien spaceship. I didn't even know. And we weren't even, like, when I was a kid, we were just making jokes about it. We were worried. We were kind of scared of it. Little Steven was about to crap his pants. I was like, dude, it's okay, man. I'm not insulting him by calling him Little Steven, though. That is what I've always called him, because I had a stepdad named Steven. And I had my friend named Steven. He'd come over. I'd say Steven. They'd both look at me. So he was younger, so I just called him Little Steven. But anyway, Little Steven was about to shit himself. I wasn't, because I just thought it was a stealth bomber. And I was like, oh, it's just military drills. Things got a little weird, though, when it took off. Because this thing, its thrusters tilted back like this. It got about over the tree line, because it went over our house and it went over the tree line, and it got to about the edge of where Lake Sinclair starts. We don't live right on the lake, but the lake's about 2 lots this way, 2 houses over and down a bit across the road, and it kind of goes like this, back over that tree line across the road, and goes poof, and just goes so fast that it takes off and disappears. Broke the sound barrier like instantaneously. You hear this boom sound that it just like kind of rocks everything. You know, the sound barrier cracks, it does. Well, that's exactly what it did, and this thing just vanished. And we were like, whoa! And then 10 minutes later, we were still playing outside. We were playing basketball, and helicopters started flying over, Black Hawks, those black ones. And I was like, holy shit, man, this is some weird stuff. And they had one of those big ass helicopters. I can't remember what you call them, the Chinooks, with like the fucking 2 dual propeller layout there. I mean, it was cruising, buddy. I was like, damn, what the hell is going on? Little did I know, like I said, I was looking at a spaceship 5 years later. I know I'm getting long-winded here, but you'll understand why this is so important to this video in a minute. Because, you know, I'll go and tell you, this is what I think ancient humans had. And I think we're rediscovering it. No, I don't say the Aryans or some crazy shit like that, but I think before the Ice Age we had some cool shit. But I'll tell you, 5 years later, I looked up on the internet, I was just typing in UFO pictures, and there it is. Foo Fighter. I was like, what? Clicked on this thing about Foo Fighters. I was like, what the fuck's a Foo Fighter? And I'm reading about Foo Fighters. Well, the World War, I was like, oh, okay, in World War II, people would cite these things. I said, wait a minute, well, what are they citing? Okay, well, click on the image there, and load the image up. Holy shit, it's that thing I saw. And I was like, wait, did I see that? And I looked up more testimonies and photos of these same exact craft. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I saw, if only I had a camera on me as a kid. It's like, dude, it was crystal clear as day. I'm sitting there looking at it. I know you probably won't believe me, but dude, it was fucking crazy. Hell, I don't even know if Steven still believes it, even remembers it. But, I mean, it was like fucking there. But anyway, how it ties into the video is, I think before the Ice Age, oh, well, that's actually what sparked my interest in sci-fi, not necessarily sci-fi, but space and man's history, ancient history and things like that, that sparked it. And as I read in the history, I discovered that, so the whole thing about the Ice Age and people existing prior to it. I was thinking, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then I'm looking at these sonar scans of the ice in Antarctica, and like a mile below the ice, like Grand Canyon levels of depth under the ice, there's what looks like these big towers. And then off the coast of India, oh shit, my ass, what the hell was that? My thing went out here. Hold on, all right. I'm using that TV as a backlight, you know. But I'm looking at this city off the coast of India called Dwarka, and I'm like, whoa, holy, off the coast of the modern city of Dwarka, but the ancient city they say was also called Dwarka. I don't even know if the thing had anything to do with India. They're just claiming it for religious reasons. But it's an ancient city that's constantly, there's stuff coming up off the coast. They will not let anybody. I mean, there's stuff washing up on the coast from the city, dishes, you know, pottery of sorts, and it's down there. And they will not let anybody. The government of India will not let anybody dive down there, even if you are like certified, you're a badass diver. You cannot go there. It's illegal. You get thrown in federal prison there for doing such things. You'll be interrogated. You'll be asked if you saw anything. No, I did not. Into prison you go for like 12 years. They're serious about it. You can't do that. And you're thinking, why? I mean, you can dive and go see the Baltic Sea anomaly, which is another weird thing. You know, I think that's a crashed spaceship too. But you can go dive right now. I can rent me a boat. I can fly over to the Baltic Sea or whatever. I can rent a boat, take it out there, and I can dive. As untrained as I am, I can dive. It's legal for me to do so there, but not in Dwarka. I wonder why. I mean, can you imagine? It's legal to dive there to see the Baltic Sea anomaly. So can you imagine what the fuck is being hidden off the coast of Dwarka? There's an actual space cruiser sitting there in the Baltic Sea, and there's no telling what the fuck's off the coast of Dwarka. Maybe some buried in ocean sand city or something. I have no idea. But what's strange to me is the Cydonia region of Mars, and how the things that are built there very closely resemble things that are built on Earth, like the Great Pyramids of Giza. There are 3 that align with the stars, as do the ones on Mars. At first I thought it was just a hill that was eroded away or something, or maybe it was some weird shaped just by geographic feature when I was younger. But the more I researched it, the more I found out about it, and then I found out that these also align with the same stars. I'm thinking, oh shit, and then there's a thing there on that on Mars that very closely resembles a structure in Japan that was built during the I can't remember what period in time, but it's either China or Japan. There's this tomb to I can't remember who, but there's a tomb that's built to one of the emperors. And this fucking thing looks exactly like what's on Mars. I mean, I don't mean it resembles it. I mean, to the fucking T. It looks... All the shapes are the same. The architectural design is the same. It's the same height. It is the same width. It is the same building. So how on earth... And you can't tell me that's a geographic feature because there's tons of angles and stuff on that thing. Okay, maybe the pyramid thing is, and it just so happens to be this mountain range that aligns with the stars. Okay, whatever. Just coincidence. Okay, but this thing... That other tomb is strange to me, and it really does make you wonder. And then you read about the ancient humans before the Ice Age. Now this ties right into that thing with Antarctica. What I think is prior to the Ice Age. I personally believe that there was a time when humans had came in contact with these ancient beings and had been taught a lot of knowledge. They learned a lot of things from these. I mean, they were taught everything from advanced mathematics to aerodynamics. I believe that we came in contact with them and they said, oh, here's a race that shows their brain development is very advanced. They have everything that they need. Their bodies are perfectly suited for handling such technology. They have posable thumbs and shit like that. They're perfectly suited for such things. Let's teach it to them. And I think that's what happened, is they came here for a benevolent purpose. They taught us these things and we worked together. We passed down the knowledge. We had advanced societies back then, I think, that would be very closely resemble ours today, if not be more advanced in it. And I think that what happened is glaciers rolling through crushed all of it. And that's personally why I believe, my personal belief on why I think you do not see artifacts from this time period. You just don't see them. Where are they, if they existed? Where the hell are they? I don't know. Who knows? But you see stuff on Mars that's very closely resembling stuff on Earth. And there are no records, as far as I know from my research, over the past 5,000 years of people going to Mars, but there are records of things coming from Mars to here. And so you got to wonder to yourself, well, how long ago was it? These things look like things that humans would build. So how long ago must it have been that we went to Mars, or is it that we were never advanced at all in the past and we never went there and built such things? Or is it that they came... There could be so many scenarios. We either went there in the past and built this stuff, forgot about the history after the Ice Age happened, and we're not back to the Stone Ages as the plague... Not the plague did, but as the burning of the libraries of Alexandria, fall of Rome did. Knocked us into the Dark Ages. That could have been what happened. The Ice Age came, we got knocked back to shit because people were relocated, because ice is encroaching. You got to leave the northern lands and come down south, so where it's warmer. We didn't know how to work the land good in these areas, and we were pretty well knocked back to cavemen. Worked our way back up, and then these beings came back to us once we got semi-advanced again, and they're like, look, you see that up there? You built that. We're going to show you how to do it again. And thus comes ancient Egypt, ancient Japan, and such things. And it's strange that around the earth, too, around the world, there are the similar structures. Like, you had pyramids being built in North America at different times. There are pyramids being built in the Middle East and pyramids being built in Japan. And it makes you wonder, well, how come these people are building the same exact looking structures on different parts of the world, people that supposedly had no contact with one another? And I believe they did not have contact with one another. There's no evidence to show that they did have contact with one another. I believe some of them may have, because there's evidence to show that the Vikings came all the way over here. But I think, this is even before the Vikings when these pyramids in North America were built. And they look similar to the ones in Giza, except they have a different architectural design and personalize them more for their particular culture. And so it makes you wonder, it's like, well, did something come here? And I personally believe whatever came here taught us as a whole. It just caused us to rediscover our technology. And they said, well, this time, instead of handing them everything, let's do a little experiment and let's see. I'm just bantering here, but this is honestly what I believe. Let's do a little experiment on them and see how well they can rediscover their own technology. Let's see if they can rediscover the stuff of old, and then if they can do that, they're worthy of coming with us. And you can see signs of this. I personally believe that these UFO sightings you see, I think that the ones that cannot be disproven are real, because a lot of them are easily debunkable, others are a bit harder to debunk, but are still debunkable, and others are just real. The shit that's real is what I'm talking about. Like that sighting I had when I was 13, I think that that could have very possibly, 12, I think it was, I can't remember my age, but is in that area, 11, 12, 13. But I think that personally, I think that what that was, and what all this is they're still watching us. These beings are in our orbit, or they come around often, and they watch us to watch our development. We are essentially a zoo. We're here for their own entertainment in a way, but not in a negative sense that they're enslaving us. We are here as an experiment in a way. And I think that it all started in the past. I think that in the past, I'm going to have to do a part 2 to this, because I can go on and on about this. And I'm being encroached on by the so old recording limiter here. So, yeah, I can only film for like 17 minutes, which sucks. But, I think that the ancient people of Earth, what I honestly think, there's so many scenarios that could have been in play, but I personally think that what happened is that in ancient times we were visited by this race that was sort of like the Borg, just going around assimilating, except they weren't assimilating. I think these beings that came here, they said, we have an opportunity here to spread our knowledge. Okay, something ever happens to us and we die, these people can carry it on because they show intelligence. I believe they came here and they taught us everything they knew. We went to Mars, we built things with them, and we ended up working together to build amazing things. I think that we went around the world and we built amazing things together. We went to the stars, because there's that solar warden theory that I'm going to make a video about after this uploads in like 2 hours. It's just strange. It's strange, but I'm going to end it here before it cuts me off. So, yeah, part 2 is coming like in 2 hours, so just wait on that. See ya.